Your vote matters.
Remember to vote November 8th. There's a lot of statewide and local initiatives that need your voice.
And on November 8th, we need you.
Your voice matters.
Together we can make a change.
Your vote counts.
No olvides de votar el 8 de noviembre.
Make a difference. Let your voice be heard.
Tu voto es necesario.
Get out to vote.
Rock the vote.
You have everything. Take my word, but I heard about the health beat you're gonna be. I just wanna be. Show me how it will be. I just wanna be. Show me how it will be. Listen to the show.
And welcome to the HealthBeat Show. I'm Dr. Jeffrey Watson, and welcome to the HealthBeat Show. Today we're going to be talking some about the issues that you can vote on this year in 2016. Joining me is none other than Miss Angie Knowles. Welcome to the HealthBeat Show, Miss Knowles.
Glad to be here, Dr. Watson.
Okay, and you are from the Oakland Community Organizations.
That's right.
And tell us a little bit about that. We've had some other members on who talked about some of the current issues that are going to be on the ballot this year. Tell us a little bit about the organization and what your role is with the organization.
OCO is a 39-year-old organization in Oakland. It's a faith-based organization, and the heart of our work is taking our faith out into the world, putting it in action. So it is a diverse group of churches, activists in churches and schools, and taking positions in civic engagement, working on immigration issues, education issues, housing, all the big issues that are shaping the quality of life in Oakland.
You know, a lot of people are thinking about this year voting and the presidential campaign. But that's not all that voting on issues this year is about, is the presidential campaign. There are all other types. Some of them are health. We already talked about some of the issues related to health, the soda tax, Proposition HH. One on smoking, Proposition 56. We have discussed some issues related to affordable housing. Also education. Those are Propositions 55 and Proposition G1. And I will not assume to be an expert on any of those things, but certainly one of the things that we wanted to do today was to clarify some of these propositions. The one that we wanted to really clarify today are some of the justice issues for our community. And that's a really big thing to talk about. Why are these issues coming up now on this campaign? We have Proposition LL, which talks about a police commission for Oakland, an Oakland Police Commission based on the community oversight. And then Proposition 57, supporting increased parole and better behavioral opportunities for felons convicted of nonviolent crimes. So tell us a little bit about the Measure LL. And this is the one that deals with a commission that may be involved with the oversight of the Oakland police. You know, I recently went to an event, and there were some political folks there, one of which was a senator from the East Coast, Cory Booker. And basically one of the things that he said was that our parents, you know, who were before us in the 40s, 50s, 60s, they did so many things with civil rights to allow us to even have the opportunity to vote, to allow us to go to the schools that we wanted to go to allow us to have housing in neighborhoods, jobs, and the civil rights. But now, if we are to be just a citizen, a comfortable citizen, we will see the hands of clock, the hands of time actually turning backwards, because we're talking about, for instance, one of the issues are many of the people who are being shot by the police. No, there's got to be some belief process that allows the organization that really brings safety to the community, for the most part, that being the police, and certainly we know that all police aren't bad, and that we need safety in our communities. But for some reason, and it may have to do with the fact that we now have all these cell phones that can video things, but for some reason, in 2015, we've seen that there were over 100 unarmed African Americans that were shot by the police. And it seems to be also disproportionate when you talk about minorities. You go back, this is the reunion of the Black Panther Party, for instance, in Oakland. And the Black Panther Party, I will never forget, was initially called the Black Panther Party for Defense, because people were feeling they had to defend themselves. So are these some of the issues that are now occurring? I mean, why does there seem to be a situation in which the police can shoot unarmed people? We're seeing it on television all the time. I don't think I'm talking out of turn. Well, you could probably read us a list of some of the people that we know of. We know of the situations in Oakland that people have been shot, in Florida, in North Carolina, in New York, that people innocently were killed by the police. What is it, as we talk about why there is an issue, LL, for instance, which will establish a strong community-based, organized commission that will at least have some oversight of the Oakland police? Can you tell us, what does LL speak to, really?
Well, it has two aspects of it. One is the commission itself, and it's charged with oversight of the police policies and procedures. So it can change the structure and the rationale for police behavior, and watch when it's not done right. So long-standing practices that led to abuse and excessive use of force would be well within the purview of the commission. LL also creates, let me make sure I get the name right, the Police Commission Review Agency. And that's basically just the investigative, not just the, importantly, the investigative arm that can investigate instances of abuse and misconduct. The commission has authority, which is different than different iterations of boards that we've had in Oakland, for decades, really. But they have authority. So the police chief they recommend candidates for hire for the police chief. Mm-hmm. When the mayor names a police chief, they have the power to fire the police chief with just cause. So the police chief has to come by the commission. They're not an advisory group, they're in a group with authority. And so they can make some changes.
And this currently in Oakland does not exist.
There's a citizens police review board without muscle. Mm-hmm. And that's an advisory group. The commission is a different thing altogether.
So will LL, if you were to vote yes on LL, what would it be that LL would seek to do? We talk about a commission and an advisory board to oversee maybe?
No advisory board. That's the
Okay.
big difference.
Okay, no advisory board.
It creates a commission that has 7 members on it, and it creates a process to name those 7 members. 3 of them would be named by the mayor. The mayor, whether he or is a female or not, has 3 slots and an alternate. The community has 4 slots and an alternate. So when we say it's a community-based group of Oakland residents, that's what it is.
And then how, that's another thing that seems to be confusing. How does one determine who is chosen? The mayor chooses those 3, but then the community chooses the other 4. How does that happen?
It's a very clear process in the ordinance. So there is a 9-member selection panel, and each council person names 1 person to the selection panel, and the mayor has a slot as well. So those 9 people are the board who are selected. They're very careful in both the commission and the board to make sure it's not.
So there's a selection panel for the commission. So the city council, you're saying, and the mayor would then select some individuals.
Each one names one. So each council person names a person to the selection panel, as does the mayor. Those 9 people then select the 4
from
people
the
that actually sit on the commission.
I see.
And there's a very definite process about it. And I think a clear effort to make sure the group is impartial, not just a mouthpiece for the police.
Could you be a formerly incarcerated person to be on the commission, so to speak, one of the 4 community members?
There is no language that I'm aware of that would disallow that. And the recommendations from the panel go to the city council for approval.
Now, so you spoke to having some muscle. Is there a situation, and we can come back to this, in which, if you have any knowledge of this, the police are already trained to shoot to kill. Shoot to kill rather than shoot in the foot, okay? And we'll just stop there for a moment. I want you to think about that. I'm Dr. Jeffrey Watson. We're talking about some of the justice issues that are going to be coming up on the ballot. It's not just the president, the vice president, your Congress, your senator. It's right here at home, the health in Oakland, right here on the HealthBeat show. I'm Dr. Jeffrey Watson with Miss Angie Knowles from the Oakland Community Organizations. We'll be right back.
Your vote matters.
Remember to vote November 8th. There's a lot of statewide and local initiatives that need your voice.
And on November 8th, we need you.
Your voice matters.
Together we can make a change.
Your vote counts.
No olvides de votar el 8 de noviembre.
Make a difference. Let your voice be heard.
Tu voto es necesario.
Get out to vote.
Rock the vote.
Hi, I'm Janine Turner, Administrator of Preventive Care Pathways at the James A. Watson Wellness Center, and you're watching the HealthBeat Show.
Okay, we're back right here on the HealthBeat show, and we were talking about the health of our community, of those who have been involved in the social justice system. Joining me is Miss Angie Knowles, who is one of the communication leaders for the Oakland Community Organizations. We're talking about the police, the Oakland Police, and we're in a year now. It's the 60th anniversary of the Black Panthers. Black Panthers at that time is 50th. Excuse me. That's how old I am, 60. So it's on my mind. But anyway, 50th year used to be the Black Panther Party for Defense. And we seem to have a situation now where the police, at least we're seeing on television, more than I'd ever want to see, are shooting people. And to a large extent, the people are black. And that's why we're talking about Black Lives Matter. People talk about that. This year there is Measure LL that is going to be on the ballot. You have said that in describing this, there will be a commission that will have some kind of oversight of the Oakland Police that will have some muscle in it. I want to demystify this because as a resident in Oakland, I don't want to just be a citizen and wait to see what happens. You know, as I said, I'm getting older now and I have kids and I want to see them do well and move forward past me and my wife. So we then would likely need to call the city council, if this were voted in, if LL were voted in, and there was a commission then that had some oversight over the Oakland Police, the choice of this commission, unless we just close our eyes and let the city council believe that they're going to choose the right people, and that's politics, we need to call the city council members, let them know the individuals that we want to be on the selection committee and on the commission that the selection committee would choose.
Certainly. And then there's the step after the commission is seated to monitor their work. We say they have the power, which they certainly do, to change the nature of the operation of police in our city. But we've got to watch and see how that's done.
Before we went off air, I said, why do the police have to come up and if they have some concern with you, shoot you in the chest, shoot you in the head with a fatal wound? Why is it they can't shoot you in the foot? You can't run away after that. Over 100 people in 2015 were unarmed. Can the commission make recommendations on the way that the police are trained? We don't want the police to get hurt either. I don't want anybody to get hurt. But shoot to kill at every time, even if you're not just defending yourself. We do have wonderful police and we respect those great police officers, but we do know that there are what we might call rogue police officers.
Well, the oversight, the general oversight, and then with specifics, say like racial profiling or all the ways we know the police have operated in our communities, that's the purview of the commission. That's their job, and they have the benefit of an investigative agency to investigate wrongdoing.
Yeah, I like to also have some educational process to let people know that it's not just wrongdoing, but they're doing wrong, and they got to know ahead of time rather than us being at the funeral and then trying to investigate what happened, what went wrong. These are the things that we need to do, and I do not in any way try to act as if I'm a police officer, but we certainly appreciate the safety that they present, but we don't want to shoot to kill. And we see as a result that there unfortunately has been retaliation. We saw that in Oakland after the Fruitvale Station shooting. We saw that in Texas, and we've seen that other places. And we've got lists of folks that have been killed all over the United States.
Yeah, in Oakland and everywhere.
Yeah, we have had a great police officer, African-American police officer, who's a friend of mine, Reggie Lyles. Officer Reggie Lyles used to be with the Berkeley Police, went over to Novato, and in meeting with him, he gave us some steps that we might abide to if you were pulled over by the police.
If you're stopped late at night, car stop or pedestrian stop, and you can sense that the situation is tensing up, it's best to do the following. First of all, I would not raise my voice. I would not shout and use profanity. You do have a right to free speech. You do have a right to ask questions, but this is not the time for a debate. What we want you to do is to survive this situation. I would also say that if you are driving a vehicle and you're pulled over, let the officer see your hands. You can either keep your hands on your steering wheel or put your hands up on the roof of the car. Do not go immediately for your glove box to get your wallet or your driver's license, etc. Let him ask for it. Do not exit the car in a fast motion. I would sit in the car calmly when the officer approaches you, then do exactly what he says. Now, if the officer demands to search your car, your trunk, your back seat, and etc., politely say no. You don't have to give them permission to search your vehicle. They can search your vehicle if they find a probable cause to believe that there's something in your vehicle, but otherwise, do not give them permission. If they ask you to exit the car, do exactly what they say. If you're going to be arrested, stay calm, and try to look at the officer to be able to describe them later. Try to get the badge number and their vehicle number, and name what should be on at the front of their shirt. Do not ask, what's your badge number? What's your badge number? In a challenging way. All that does is heighten the situation and causes more tension. Now, if you're brought down to the station, you're entitled to 2 phone calls. And I would suggest that you call a competent attorney, parents, so that you can defend yourself under the law and due process. That's my recommendations. But lastly, I want to say the rogue officer is an officer that overreacts, violates your constitutional rights, uses abuse of force, and we have a myriad of examples of that. You don't have to convince white police officers or the general community that this happens to African Americans. It does happen. We know it happens. Lastly, I would say this. This is not your problem. This is not your problem. The problem belongs to law enforcement, and law enforcement has to correct it.
Would there be, on any of these commissions, the possibility of having those who understand the legal justice system well, like a civil rights attorney, like somebody who has been a defense attorney, someone who may have been has been formerly incarcerated, who understands what that situation is like? What do you think about that?
Well, the investigative agency, by the ordinance, does have an attorney. And that attorney is not from the city attorney's office, who might be more inclined to look for the city's position and defend it. It's a lawyer from outside, so the investigative agency does that.
Would these positions, that excellent point that you brought up, would they be paid positions, the commission? Would they be paid, or would these be all volunteers as far as you know?
I don't know that. I really don't know the answer to that.
That'd be interesting to know. Sometimes people respond to how their bread is buttered.
Yeah,
you know?
The investigative agency is an agency like any other in the city. It has a staff, they're paid. The commissioners for the police commission, I really don't know.
Proposition 57 is another one of the propositions that relates to the justice system that will be on the ballot. What is Proposition 57? What does it mean if you vote yes for that?
Well, generally speaking, it means that you're in favor of swinging our prisons from excessive punishment more toward rehabilitation and from ending this mass incarceration that that California has been undertaking for years. In the first place, there's a stipulation for young people to be not just rushed into prosecution as adults, by prosecutors, but instead to have a judge make that decision and take into account their background and all the kinds of things that might have led a youngster to have a problem with the law. Two other aspects are important as well. One, increases the opportunities for people to get parole, and this applies to nonviolent felons who served their primary offense. It doesn't guarantee them a parole, but opens the opportunities with a hearing so they can return to their families, heal their life, and help heal our communities. And a third aspect of it is for the prison system to have a credit system that incentivizes people who are incarcerated to take part in educational and rehabilitation programs so they don't have to come home like they came in and don't have to be worse when they come home without some help.
Okay, and then Proposition 62 will replace California's broken and costly death penalty system with life in prison without the possibility of parole, and it applies retroactively to existing death sentences. What is the thought process on this? This is really to reduce the death penalty. Would people on the death who've had the death penalty and have life imprisonment, would that implode the prisons as well?
I'm not sure what the effect of the prison population would be in that way, but what it most certainly does, and probably most importantly, is it ensures that we do not execute an innocent person. That can't happen in California.
Okay.
And that's a very important change to be made.
Okay.
And it isn't as if life imprisonment without parole isn't a punishment. It most certainly is. But we don't execute innocent people.
That's right. Okay, Proposition 62 is replacing the death penalty. Proposition 57 is increasing parole for good behavior. Proposition LL, or Measure LL, would be that of developing a strong community-based Oakland Police Commission with the power to hold the police accountable for misconduct and for some of the other decisions. Well, those definitely affect the health of our community, and we found that disproportionately these things are happening to minorities, so we want to see a change occur there so that we can live longer, healthier, and happier. And we thank you so much, Miss Angie Knowles, for being here with us.
It's my pleasure.
Okay, remember always that your health is your wealth, and when you have your health, you have everything. I'm Dr. Watson. Make sure you get out and vote November 8th. We'll see you next time.
Your vote matters.
Remember to vote November 8th. There's a lot of statewide and local initiatives that need your voice.
And on November 8th, we need you.
Your voice matters.
Together we can make a change.
Your vote counts.
No olvides de votar el 8 de noviembre.
Make a difference. Let your voice be heard.
Tu voto es necesario.
Get out to vote.
Rock the vote.